much like the energy of this week, the monster at the end of this book. So there's something big and scary that's rearing its head. And there's even big and scary things happening all over the world if you're paying attention to it. Well, don't pay attention to it, please. Pay attention to what you want to grow. All right, we're going to pull a card from here. And here she blows. This card deck is the Botanic Whispers card deck. There's our card. It's upside down. So the first thing that comes to my head is leader. Do you think that leaders got to be leaders by applying to be a leader? True leaders. Do you think true leaders got to be leaders because they were born into it, like bloodline wise? No. A true leader is a leader because they've been through things that they don't want to go through again. A true leader is a leader because they say there has got to be another way. So you're being asked to activate your leadership. And maybe your leadership is just sitting at home and holding the highest vision for humanity, because everybody's role is different. Nobody's role is the same because none of us are the same. So the color orange, so we can think of our sacral chakra. It says, I blaze my trail with purposeful intent, letting nothing distract me from my goal. I am not afraid to show my true colors to the world. So right now, this is what's being called for. There's a lot of fear, and I call fear the great bamboozler. So much like the monster at the end of this book is the lovable Grover, we have to realize that what's going on all around us, that we're the things that are trying to catch our attention, the things that are trying to say, hey, be afraid, be afraid, be afraid. They're trying to override your sovereignty and your free will. So it's totally up to you, but I highly recommend activating your leadership. What is your purpose in this life? Well, I would say it's just to be alive, but you get to decide what your values are. And then I always ask people to write down your beliefs, write down your values. If you have any outdated beliefs, then change them, because beliefs, it's like when you break your leg and you need to use crutches. You're not meant to use those crutches for the rest of your life. You can have a belief and it can change, it can grow, it can evolve, because that's the very nature of our universe. Yes, it could tend towards entropy, I understand that, but what I'm saying is humans are meant to expand in their conscious awareness. That's what we're meant to do. At least that is my opinion. So anyways, let's go ahead and activate our leadership. Let's find out what really gives us passion and drive. And if you're not sure, take a bath, take a shower, go swimming, let those thoughts be felt. Not the ones in the head, the ones in the heart. And then the next one, this is from the Shamanic Healing Oracle. And I know all this stuff's easier said than done, but even expanding your conscious awareness, it's just crazy what happens when you stop being afraid and you start taking control of what you can control, which is the way that you feel, the thoughts that you think. All right, let's see what this one has for us. So another activation. All right. Unlimited possibilities. And 9 plus 1 is 10, which is 1, because we are all one. If anything is rooted in fear, if anything is rooted in division, you are being asked to activate your unlimited potential, unlimited possibilities. We need each and every one of you. One person does make a difference, because as you're out there doing things, improving the world by holding the highest vision, others will feel your energy, they'll sense your light, and it will help them activate theirs. So it really only does take one person. And I'm going to finish off with a Buddha Doodles, because these always just feel so good. And this is not, like an oracle deck or a tarot deck, obviously, but the meaning can still be very powerful. And a lot of this stuff that is so fear-based in nature, we do not have control over. Okay? If you do have control over it, that's great. Get up and go do your thing. But what we can control is the way that we hold the highest vision for the world. All right, Buddha Doodles. Let's turn her around, and she says, gratitude for stillness. So maybe that's what we can do to activate. You know, whether you're watching the news or you just catch something coming through on Reddit or you see something on social media, stop watching the news. Stop going on social media. You know, I'm not telling you to hold your head in the sand, but how do you know the information that you're getting is even valid? When there is a point of view out there that is looking to separate us, it really can't stop at nothing. And you know, I do, at this point in time, believe that everything that we see outside of us is something presenting to ourselves to see if we're going to pay attention to it or not. So from the information that I've gotten from clients, friends, and just the energy of the world right now, we're all really kind of, I don't want to say being tested, but we're being asked, do you want to activate the highest part of yourself? Do you want to go ahead and know that there's things around you that seem like you can't control them, but you can go into your inner realm and you can cultivate abundance and you can cultivate this vision? And it's not delusion, because everything starts with the energy. Everything starts with the thought and the strong emotion. But it can go for good or for quote unquote bad, because if something out there is giving you an idea that the world is going to shit, and then they prove it to you with what is written in the newspaper, what people are arguing about all over the world, well, we don't need followers. We don't need apathy. We don't need diversion. We need purpose, and your purpose is in being alive. Trend setting, leading, lead by example, activate your leadership qualities. Realize that nothing is impossible. There's a very good chance that right now, you are going through something that you've gone through before and it did not go well. Are you going to be triggered and fall into victim consciousness and give away your free will and your sovereignty and say, poor me? Or are you going to say, fuck that? No, this is my life. I say how it goes. I make the choice. And every single little choice that you make, yes or no, that's for the greater good of you. And I mean like the really greater good of you, okay? I don't mean like buying the extra large when you're going through the drive-thru. I mean, you can feel it in your belly, you can feel it in your heart, and it feels so powerful, so passionate. Just do something little. Just have a thought. Have a thought of every single person in the world holding hands and praying for the world, praying for each other. Gratitude for the stillness. Whenever something comes up that makes you go into fear, I want you to think of 3 things that you're grateful for. And whenever something comes up and it just feels like you are having the hardest time, that the world is awful, you want to just be alone, then go be alone and listen to what your intuition tells you. Play with your inner child. Know that we are all in this together. And all of the stuff that looks bad and gross and icky, well, I'm here to tell you that it doesn't have to be that way. And it's not always going to be that way. But it starts with us all holding the vision, the highest vision, for the highest truth. Because the world is based upon the energetic frequency of unconditional love. And literally everything else around you is a distraction. So go back again and again and again into the gratitude of stillness.